6th of June 2022. The tyre bagger is shut. This might be why it's shut. Fallen trees needing clearing. It might be. This might be why it's shut. It might not be. I don't know why it's shut at this precise moment in time. But there are fallen trees here. Nice night. And when the roads are closed, it's really quiet. Safe for cyclists to enjoy the environment that is common to us all. A common denominator. A shared space. This is the tyre bagger. And when there's no traffic, you can really hear the birds. Hear yourself think. Clarity. Clarity of thought. Why is this shut? You can get through barricades on a bike and investigate. Because actually, there's no visible reason why the road is shut. Visual inspection? Why is it shut? It might be the fallen trees. They need to clear them. They need to make for safe passage. Is this why it's shut? To focus on environmental services. Because the tyre bagger is actually a Forestry Commission site. This is it here. This is the car park. Oh, I see. The entrance to the tyre bagger car park is closed. A fallen tree. This is the reason why the whole road is shut, blocked to the A96. A fallen tree at the Tyre Bagger Forestry Commission site car park. This will have to be cleared. And I imagine the whole road has to be shut to clear it. There is debris here. What debris is going to be cleared exactly? When you go on bikes, you can inspect the natural world, get closer, see why roads are closed, go places cars can't. This is the reason for people staying fit and healthy, really. Because as the weather patterns change and freak weather becomes more common, there's going to be a need for more people to do visual inspection, to scope out where there is problems, document it in video, highlight it so that others can go around and clear it up. And there's going to be a need for people to do that on a mass scale with the freak weather that happens. Some countries don't just get storms and fallen trees. Australia at the start of 2022 got flooding around Sydney. Start of 2020 it saw wildfires, raging infernos. This is climate change. But actually we're more aware of climate issues with globalization and the spread of the internet and the spread of information. And with advances in technology, video is possible, video upload to the internet. This is all significant and relevant to the discussion. This is why the Tyre Bagger Road is closed. This is a visual inspection. This is why it is closed. There's a much a need for people to clear it up. The environmental debris, the carnage, the rubbish, as well as someone to document it, highlight where the problems are, explain and educate why the roads are closed. These are all issues, significant issues. There's also a need for greater care of the environment by others, for people to use car journeys for essential trips. I mean, use of hydrogen, electric, petrol and diesel, it all conserves natural resources. That's the bottom line. It all comes back to the fallen trees and the environment. The fallen trees really hit home how fragile the planet is. Fragility. Humans are fragile too. Human fragility is a symbol of a fragile planet as well. It's logical, connected. But yet still, we need to move around. Get goods to the shops. You can't do that without harming the environment to a certain extent. I guess you've got to think first and try to minimise environmental harms in the best way as possible. There's the A96 actually. I think the reason the road's closed is because of all the fallen trees. But actually, I'm almost at the junction with the A96. What actually is the traffic like on it? You can't really cycle along that road. So you've got to go back along the country roads. And yet this is Aberdeen City. It's a city. A city, well, it does have plenty of residential streets, paths and pavements to make cycling safe. It's not a mega city like London and Tokyo, but actually you can't cycle along this road when you come out at the junction. And that's another issue. And then there's the fast traffic. And the Scottish Government aim to slow traffic in towns and cities down to 20 miles per hour by 2025. But I mean, it's still going to be fleeing along this road. Cross with care. That's what the sign says. Aberdeen and the airport. A96. Cross with care. No entry. No entry. Cross with care. You can see Aberdeen City Council is very much aware of the danger. This is awareness, documented in video. Now you can't actually cycle along this road. But actually this lane has road cones. Road cones? Road cones act as a delineation. They prevent traffic from going down a road that's shut. Look at this lorry. This is the A96. And the Scottish Government has a plan to make it dual carriageway from Aberdeen to Inverness. I mean, dual carriageway is one thing. It does make roads safer for cars and people in them. But at the same time, actually having a cycle path like the Netherlands alongside main roads actually helps people stay fit and healthy. Those that want to go on bikes can. I don't think the council is aware, Aberdeen City Council, of probably what this area looks like. People drive past it quite fast. There's no cycle path here. It's just a grass verge. So you've really got to turn round and go back. But if you look into the distance, you can see Aberdeen. The city of Aberdeen. Dice and Bucksburn. This is the 10th of May 2022, on the day of the Queen's speech read by Prince Charles. Important to stress the date. This path with tall evergreen trees is by Maastricht. The path is off Sheddockesley-woods. Sheddockesley-woods is at the back of Maastricht and runs to King's Wells. It also connects to Hose Road. And on Hose Road there is Orchard Brae Special Needs School, the Special Needs School, along with there is Orchard Brae Special Needs School, and there's another school as well. There's schools right throughout Aberdeen. It's Heathry Burn that's by Orchard Brae. That's one issue. You can't look up information with a smartphone when shooting video. It sounds like there's birds flapping in the trees. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Dark down there, and there's something flapping in the trees. It's making a noise. Nothing visible. There's obviously a nest in there. Big, thick, evergreen trees. They are good trees for nesting in. Provide shelter also, because it's dark in there. I mean, one thing is clear. These trees did not come down in the successive winter storms of strong winds during the winter of 2021 and 2022. Not these trees, they're still standing. Big, thick, evergreen trees. Evergreen trees are durable. Durable, and there's birds flapping in the trees. Dog running up ahead. Not on lead with owner. A couple of owners with a dog not on a lead. This path seems to lead to the countryside. I imagine through that field on the other side is Dobby's Garden Centre. Video with image stabilisation, moving on a bike, providing a narrative, does also provide. It provides motion and a narrative, and also smoother video. Smoother video with the iPhone SE 2020. Now this is the edge of Maastricht. The edge of Maastricht. Somewhere. Oh, that's the new houses that are being built opposite the Langstracht, and in the distance is Dobby's Garden Centre at the other side of the field. It's quiet here with the birds singing. You can go up that way through the trees. No clear path in a sense. There's a path this way. This way goes out onto the Langstracht. The locals that live in Maastricht and nearby it, Maastricht, Aberdeen, not Maastricht, the Netherlands, where André Rieu has a fairy tale castle. The classical composer who also performs playing the trumpet sometimes, I understand. Lots of classical tunes. This path seems to go back into Maastricht. You can go that way through the field, but at the other side of the field there's likely a fence to climb over. You can't really climb over it on a bike, but by shooting video, shooting and sharing video. You can actually show people where you can actually travel locally on a bike without obstacles. You can't travel anymore through Denver and Liverpool since there's a gate now. There wasn't a gate until I told the Aberdeen councillors for Kingswells and Maastricht that the Scottish Government was interested in upgrading the road through there. That was this year. But after the councillors were notified for Kingswells and Maastricht, a gate has gone up. You can't go along that quiet road anymore with a bridge and life-saving barriers through Denver and Liverpool. That is a quiet route for active travel, a quiet, safe route through the countryside, past often horses. People erecting gates really prohibits safe travel, safe, peaceful, quiet and tranquil travel for young people and future generations, and also middle-aged people that like to go on bikes and walk. This is the edge of Maastricht, where there is also destruction. This is the countryside edge of Maastricht. That's the Langstracht over there, just to be clear. There is actually destruction here. Have Aberdeen City Council realised about the destruction on their doorstep? What do the councillors for Kingswells and Maastricht actually do? New ones have been elected, I imagine. Or maybe it's the same ones. I didn't check on it. There were local council elections right across Scotland, with, I imagine, new councillors elected. And some will have got the heavy-ho booted out, like wee Donny, who was 94. It's a shame. He will now have to find something else to do. I mean, taking up issues for constituents actually provides people with a fulfilling life, a vacation in a sense, a job, a paid job role. I mean, those that take on the responsibility do have to be responsible, be objective, air views, try and push through improvements. And everyone has a point of view. There can be conflicts, disagreements. This leads to debates. Peaceful debates are better than violence. Are we in agreement? There's a noisy machine going on here. So maybe the environmental destruction is being dealt with after all, on the edge of Maastricht, in the countryside edge, on the countryside edge, in the countryside edge, on the edge of the countryside where there is actually deforestation. In November 2021, world leaders in Glasgow at the COP26 Climate Summit did agree to tackle deforestation. Their timing was really appropriate, because after that, shortly after that, on the 26th of November 2021, along came Storm Arwen, battering the northeast of Scotland. Battering it. And there were several winter storms. Corrie, Bara, Eunice, which brought snow, they all brought strong winds too. Strong winds. It's blustery today, but not as strong as the winter storms, which really brought down trees, blocking roads, blocking paths. And the A96 was closed, actually, between Kintore and Inverurie during one of the storms. And the council put out a rerouting route. They announced the road closure in advance when they knew about the storm. and put people via country roads via Kemney. I mean, that's not responsible. There's responsibility, planning. You need to look at the weather, know what storms are coming. And actually, there's a storm coming today. Just look at this well-worn path. This is up close at the damage. People are walking through the trees. There's clearly a path that way to houses. Can I go this way? It looks like a well-worn path. A well-worn path on the 10th of May 2022. Hello. Sit. 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 Now that's a good dog. Sit. 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 You're behaving. The black one's not behaving.
That's usually the other way around. Come on.
Sit. Dogs can be obedient. That white one actually responded to my commands, behaved. It was that feisty black one that was not responding. Life is not always that black and white. This is the woods. This is the path. Now I've found the environmental destruction. On the edge of Maastricht. I can't go this way. It's the way I wanted to go. It's a well-worn path, but it's blocked on the 10th of May 2022. But let's just take stock. Lots of trees still standing. I didn't film that man with the dogs. I respected his right to privacy. But if people recognise his dogs, they'll know the black one was feisty and the white one was behaving, being obedient. But life's not always that black and white. Black creatures can behave. The black horses and cows do behave. Life's not that black and white. It's also not rosy either with these fallen trees. An issue from Aberdeen City Council, the Maastricht councillors. Actually, there's a path this way. What are these woods called? Fallen conifers on the ground. That's what they are. They're cones. Cones are conifers. And you know, squirrels actually like those conifers and cones. that's another issue because the red squirrel population has been declining. Most of Scotland is covered with grey squirrels. I found the environmental destruction. But whereabout is it exactly? Whereabout am I? When you're shooting video, you can't access maps, online maps. This is the destruction. The council need to clear it because it's blocking a path. A path? Oh, here's the council. Oh, they've come to clear it. They've parked a bit far away. Aberdeenshire Council said staff need to park near tools. Well, if they've come to deal with the fallen trees, they're parked in the wrong place. I don't think they're dealing with fallen trees. This is the benefit of zooming in from afar. Walking closer, but not too close. We don't want to frighten them. We don't want to really identify them either. But it is significant to note there's workmen. What are they doing exactly? You need to observe, respect privacy, and also be courteous. While also noting what's happening. Are they here to clear up the environmental destruction? I'm not clear about that. What street is this? The street sign's down there by the van. I can see it from a distance, but it's too far away for me to read it. I can't walk closer without invading privacy. So this is the edge of Maastricht. I could see the Langstracht and the new houses being built, the construction site, which is opposite a field with often horses grazing, and it's beside Dobby's Garden Centre. Dobby's Garden Centre was across that countryside field or paddock. Paddock where horses often graze. That's what you call a paddock. You need to tell children, make them wise. That's education. Teachers are not doing this. They should be doing it evenings and weekends instead of conventional marking. Putting out video to the children to tell them what goes on in their spare time. But people like time off. But you can have time out in the natural world and be productive. Life's too short. So what street is this? These houses are actually quite well built. This seems to be a newer end of Maastricht. Actually, it is. You can tell the houses are newer. And also, these are the new streets. The first street that was built when you turn left, coming from King's Wells, entering Maastricht. This is the edge of it, and you can tell these houses are quite modern. Oh, he's got a wheelbarrow. This is cleaning up environmental waste. I think